Hi, I'm Jill McBride Baxter, and I'm CEO of Academic Game Plan. And thank you so much for joining me tonight with implementation of Academic Game Plan for schools. So please maybe get some water, get pen and paper. If you have any questions, please do it in the chat box rather than the question and answer. And I will be getting started in about 12 seconds. So thanks for being here. So first of all, in this webinar, I'm going to answer 4 questions. These are the most frequently asked questions that I get. What is Academic Game Plan? How does AGP impact students? How much time does it take to implement? And how do I implement this plug and play system? Why you're here today. You might be here today because your students struggled in the fall, teaching online, and maybe in person and online was difficult for students and teachers and parents as well. Or you're searching for strategic positive reinforcement techniques, or you're looking for growth markers and a way to measure how students are doing. Or you also found that a lot of the students that you had contact with this year had difficulty managing time and space. And this was a challenge which didn't surprise Academic Game Plan at all, that students did not know how to manage their time and space very well when they went online. So Academic Game Plan inspires competitive excellence, and it's really about 1% vision and 99% alignment. So question number 1, and this is the most frequently asked question, is what is Academic Game Plan? So Academic Game Plan teaches the rules, fundamentals, and techniques of how to win at the game school. What you will find and what you will learn is that there are 3 parts to Academic Game Plan, and the 3 parts main goal is to build a champion in a student. There's 3 parts: foundation, fast start, and momentum. So why do we have 3 parts to Academic Game Plan? The concept behind it is we are a training organization of techniques and fundamentals, and our core purpose is to inspire people to achieve competitive excellence in all areas of their life by connecting them to the big picture of education. We create alignment through useful outcomes that repurpose a tired system with true purpose and meaning that lasts. Repurposing a tired, meaningless system through the magic of why and the power of how. So we are about 1% vision and 99% alignment. We deliver 2 things: vision and control. In the course, which is a digital course, as I said, there's 3 sections. Foundation is the first part, which is the attitudinal building block of Academic Game Plan. Why do we start with attitude? Because if you don't change somebody's attitude, they're not going to listen to the techniques that we are teaching. The next part is fast start, which is strategic planning. We have a planner that's called the GPS planner, which I'll go into a little bit more detail about the planner and our planning system, but everything is designed for students in mind. The last part is momentum, which is study skills. So notice we have a certain progression that we teach this in. And the reason why we do it that way, again, for instance, in foundation, there's like 12 sections of different techniques that are taught and thought process that are taught to get the student to change their attitude. And there's quite a few different instructional information that allows them to think about their attitude and think about how they are actually reacting to different things going on in school. And it's so that they start to realize, if they don't start to change their perception of things, that, or if they do change their perception, things are going to be a lot easier for them. Okay, so it is a digital course. So what happens is I give, for schools, for instance, let's say you decide to do it with, like, I don't know, 30 students, 40 students, 500 students, whatever it is. Each student will have their own username and password. They will then put in their username and password, and up pops up John, and the first part is foundation. And there's about 12 different teaching, exercises in foundation. And you as the teacher, you don't have to do anything. John will teach it. They then write everything in their workbook. And at the bottom, you can see where it says pain and pleasure. That's something, it's one of the things he teaches, and that's what the workbook looks like. And they're going to write down what he says in the workbook. So it is a digital course. There is, just so you know, there is 8 hours of information, okay? Do you need to teach this all at once? Of course not. I'm going to talk about that later, how to organize this and how to best utilize the program. But it is a digital course, okay? And here are the tools that come with the digital course. There is the workbook, which is called AGP 101, and it says Foundation, Fast Start, and Momentum. And all the student has to do is open up the workbook, and John teaches it. Most of the lessons are from 20 to 30 minutes. They're writing in the workbook as they're watching him teach, and then you as the teacher are going to stop the tape and you're going to discuss what he just taught, or you're going to have a class discussion, however you want to do it. The other part that comes in the tools is the GPS, which is the student GPS, which is the guidance, performance, and strategy. It is the planning tools. There's also the daily reading game plan, the master schedule, the scoreboard, and the scouting report. This is all in the student GPS, and these are all the tools, and they get a 4-way pen. So that's what Academic Game Plan is, and here are the tools that we provide to each student. So how does it help students? Well, the student GPS, like I said, it's not just a planner. It's for guidance, to improve performance, and teach them how to teach them strategy by utilizing this particular planning tool. It is literally how to get from point A to point B in all areas of your life. Just so you know, Academic Game Plan is not just about, you know, solving a problem in school. Like, I get this assignment, it's due on this day, and then I have to get it done. Really, this is a life skill that everybody needs to know. Everybody needs to know how to plan their day, because you need it not just in junior high, high school, and college. You also need it for work. So there are also several rules in the planner and in the program. Rule number 50 is it doesn't matter what the plan is as long as you have one. So the planner is a great growth marker. This is a great thing for teachers, parents, and everybody to use. And what I mean by that is, let's say a student plans their day on Monday. You look at how they plan their day on Monday, and then on Tuesday, they didn't plan their day. On Wednesday, they did plan their day. And you start to see a correlation to students getting their work done, turning on their assignments on the days that they actually made a checklist and did everything on their checklist. So anybody in a school setting could open up the planner and see whether the student has planned their day, week, their scouting report, their scoreboard. Are they using the planning tools? And then you start to reinforce. Look, the day that you did plan, everything got turned in, you were on time to class, you had a good attitude, you got a good grade on the exam, you got a good grade on the assignment, whatever it is. So the GPS, the Guidance, Performance, and Strategy Planner, is a great growth marker for everybody to utilize. So it's also great for strategic positive reinforcement. What do I mean by that? I suggest all teachers, parents, whatever it is, you look to see where the student is before they start this program. Look at, I would say, 3 or 4 different things. 1, assignments. How many assignments did they miss? Maybe the previous semester, whatever it is. What was their GPA before they started Academic Game Plan? What was their attendance? What was their behavior? Any other different things that you can actually, you know, say this is where they were before. How many days did they plan their day last semester? Maybe it's 0. Maybe it was they didn't know how. Then you start to, and every single time somebody does something positive or changes a behavior or plans their day for one day, please reward the slightest try. Be aware that students who are D students that become a C student, they have gotten better. Those improvements need to be recognized. And I think it's really important, especially for students who maybe haven't had a lot of positive reinforcement in school, and parents who have never gotten positive reinforcement about their kid in school, just even sending home certificates saying, the last 2 weeks, your child planned their day every single day and turned in all 100% of their assignments. That's good news to a parent. Or they showed up to all the Zoom classes. They were on time. They didn't have a behavior problem, whatever it is. Once a student starts to be successful and sees success with the different techniques we create, and school starts to become easier and they start doing a lot better, we have seen in students that it will create a new identity as a competitive student, maybe for the first time in the student's life. Another is that this is a great growth marker. It empowers students and it is plug and play. You as a teacher don't have to do anything except for discuss what John just taught. You could also just give it an assignment and have them look at it the night before, and then you discuss it in class. However you want to do it. You can do it however you want, but you can have him teach it. You don't have to do it. It's all there for you. So if you fail to control the events in your life, then the events of your life control you. So I'm going to talk to you just about one of our planning tools, and it's called the scouting report, because this is kind of just an example of something you can teach to students. And by the way, John teaches it, but I'm just trying to give you an example of one of the way John teaches and the kind of wording and vocabulary he uses. So the scouting report this is the tool for predicting pressure. And if it's predictable, it's preventable. Okay, so here's what the scouting report looks like. How many tools do you need to fill out this form? This is how many sources contributed to this calendar. 8. The general school dates, sports schedule, US history syllabus, biology syllabus, biology lab, English syllabus, math syllabus, and speech syllabus. So these were all the documents that you needed for a student to fill out this 2 weeks of the scouting report. So what would you do with a student once they learned how to fill this out? You would say you need to get all these documents together in order to plan for this 2 weeks or for the whole semester. If you are a teacher who only plans a week in advance, then they need to have everything a week in advance, whatever it is. If you're at the college level, you know that each class is going to provide a syllabus. So, but they need to have all those documents so they can put this all in the scouting report. Now, if you look at the scouting report, what do you see? You see that they layered all these different things in. But what is the busiest day on this calendar? That's right, it's Thursday, October 22nd. These are what we call blitz days or pressure days. When did you become aware of the pressure of this day or week? Well, the day you got the syllabus or the day you got the planning tool that the teacher provided. It could be possibly 8 weeks prior to this particular October 22nd date. Nothing is too difficult if you are ready for it. So how do you implement academic game plan? There's 3 easy steps. 1, you find a day and a time to teach it. 20 minutes is what I recommend. You also could do a little bit longer if you'd like, but 20 minutes is all you really need to get started. Then you have to figure out how many days a week I'm going to teach this, play the lesson for 20 minutes, give the students time to write in the workbook, and then have a class discussion. The next part is you need to give the students time to plan their day. By the way, if you sit with a stopwatch and say, plan your day, once they learn how to do this, by the way, you're going to see it takes them about a minute. They need time to fill out their scoreboard, time to fill out their reading game plan, time to fill out the master schedule, review their work, and discuss growth. This is once you've taught these skills, then you need to give them some time to do this. You need to look at it and you need to review it. Why do I say you need to review it? Because I find that the first time that a student learns how to plan something, they might put, okay, math. That's all they put. They put an A next to it and they put a 1. So it's a high priority. It needs to be turned in. But if they just use the word math instead of specifically saying math 1 through 20 on page 26, you see how that's a lot more specific, and they need to learn how to be more specific. So when they go to do this assignment, they have it all written in their planner, and they don't have to go back and find out, oh, which problems did I need to do? So they're saving time by writing it down and being specific, but they need to learn how to do those skills, and you need to review it so that you can teach them to be more specific in their planning. As I said before, recognize milestones. How many days did they actually create a list and complete it? Did their grades improve? Did they turn in their assignments compared to before? What was the student starting point? What is their attendance like? What is their behavior like? All those things you can look at before and then after, and then recognize those milestones.